Okay, boys and girls, on this one, we're going to be comparing decimals, and I'm going to show you how we can do that. So, take a look at these two, we're going to take a look at this problem first. So, I have the decimal 0.6 and 0.8. One of the easiest ways to do that is to compare them by putting them on top of each other, making sure they stay in the same place. It's pretty easy because right now they're both in the tens place. I look at the place and I think, which is bigger, 6 or 8? Well, you're right. 8 is bigger. So in the end, 0.6 is less than 0.8. So this one is the bigger decimal. Now I'm going to do the same thing here. I put my decimal points right on top of each other. I put the 5 and the 3 right on top of each other, then the 7 and the 5 right on top of each other, just like that. I start at the highest place value, which is right here, and I compare 5 and 3. Are they the same? No. 5 is bigger than 3. So 0.57 is bigger than 0.35. Now let's try it with these problems. I have 0.06 and I'm comparing it with 0.14. I start at my biggest value, which would be the tenths. I compare 0 and 1. Are they the same? No, they're not. 1 is bigger. Since I found the bigger number, I don't have to compare these. I just focus on this. And since I found it, this 1 was bigger than this 0, so 0.06 is less than 0.14, or 6 hundredths is less than 14 hundredths. Okay? For this next one, I have 35 hundredths and 32 hundredths. Notice the tenths are lined up on each other and the hundredths are lined up on each other. We want to make sure we're doing that as we're comparing them. So I start at my highest value. Oh, I have 3 and 3. They're the same. So I have to go to my next value. Now I have 5 and 2. Which one's bigger out of 5 and 2? You're right, 5 is. So 0.35 was bigger than 0.32, or 35 hundredths was bigger than 32 hundredths. Okay, let's take a look at this one right here. I have 3.6, and I'm comparing, or 3 and 6 tenths, and I'm comparing it with 3, I put my decimal point, and 60 hundredths. Look, I have my ones on top of each other, my tenths on top of each other, and then my hundredths here on the side. Make sure you're lining them up right on top of each other. Okay, let's compare them. We start at our biggest value, which would be the ones place. 3 and 3, they're the same, so I move next door. 6 and 6, they're the same, so I move next door. Now there is an imaginary 0 here. I have a 0 and a 0, they're the same, and I have nowhere next door. So if all the parts ended up being the same, that means they're equal to each other. They're the same thing. Even though this just says 6 and this says 60, they're still the same thing. Because 60 tenths, if I multiplied, or 6 tenths, if I multiplied them by the same number, I would end up with that fraction. Pretty cool. Okay, last one. We're going to put these together. So I have 25 and 4 tenths. Now this has 3 digits, but I need to line them up by the decimal point. So I put my decimal point here. On the left is a 3. On the right is a 75. So I'm going to compare them. I start my highest value. There is an imaginary 0 here. Don't let it trick you. I have a 2 and a 0. Which one's bigger? You're right, the 2 is bigger, so automatically I know 25 and 4/10 is bigger than 3 and 75/100. I hope this helps you with comparing decimals. Thank